Welcome to Divine Groove.
I'm Melissa Stone San Angelo, certified massage therapist and owner of Balance Studio Spa in Felton.
And I'm Daniel Gross, certified clinical hypnotherapist and owner of Hypnosis Santa Cruz in Scotts Valley. Divine Groove is the place to hear influential, imaginative, and intelligent people who make a difference in the San Lorenzo Valley and beyond. We'll always keep it upbeat and positive with topics like health, well-being, natural solutions, and always in the Divine Groove.
Welcome to another Divine Groove.
This is Daniel Gross with Melissa Stone San Angelo, and today we welcome Adora Deva, clinical hypnotherapist, transformational coach, and wellness practitioner with Life Spirit Healing, with locations both in Soquel and San Jose. Welcome, Adora.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Adora's heart philosophy is to inspire and empower people to recognize their own magnificence and divinity. Tell us more about that.
Well, I really feel that when people connect to their heart, that's where transformation, occurs. So I get people when they come in and they have a problem, they want to release weight or whatever it is, I get them to really love themselves. And
Yes.
At that point, it's more of a life. I want to be whole, I want to be healthy. And that's where the transformation really happens.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
Doesn't it all begin with loving yourself?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how long have you been a hypnotherapist?
I studied, I think, 2005 and 2006. I became a clinical hypnotherapist.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. And where was that that you got trained?
I actually took Rainier Dan's transpersonal hypnotherapy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I've actually been assisting with her off and on over the years.
Wonderful.
So it's actually pretty exciting.
And you're also a graduate of my massage school, too.
That's right.
Is Cypress Health Institute in
That's
Santa
right.
Cruz.
That's right.
Excellent. So do you find you're splitting your time between doing massage and Reiki? You also have Reiki here and hypnotherapy, or what do you find?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, people they might come in for body work, but we end up doing, EFT or hypnotherapy. I just kind of meet the person where they're at and see what they need. But I do, it is divided.
Right.
The energy work and, the mind, emotional work.
Yes.
Because I really believe the mind, the body, we're all connected. Just can't just
Definitely.
chop the head off.
Right. But the reason we're here today is to talk about your light therapy, which
Yes.
is very interesting. I had a treatment a couple weeks ago, and we just put Daniel in the light therapy.
Yeah, feeling pretty good after that, by the way. That was quite an experience. I've never experienced that before, so that was great. I really enjoyed that, and feeling very relaxed.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about how you got into the light therapy and what you believe it can do for you?
Yes. 2006, I was invited to a spa, and they said I'd be part of a wrinkle study, and it wouldn't cost me anything. And since my skin always could use a little bit of help, I went. And after a month, going 2 times a week, I noticed my skin was totally clearing up. The wrinkles
Wow.
were getting better. And more than that, the energy. I just felt so alive that I felt like I was just kissing the sunlight, and I just actually became a light junkie. Back then, it's true. So, yeah.
Now, about the mechanism behind the light therapy, what actually transpires there with the lights? I know as I went underneath there's little LED lights that are inside the device, and they flash in certain frequencies. And what happens there?
So light is actually the purest energy of the world, and just like acupuncture goes right into your cells and the meridians, the light actually goes right into your cells as well. And it works right with the mitochondria of your cells and the ATP, so it gives you complete energy. And there's 4 different wavelengths of light that are bioactive, meaning they really work with your body. And the light therapy has 3 of those: the blue wavelength, the red wavelength, and the near-infrared wavelength.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's kind of like plugging yourself in maybe to the energy source.
That's right.
I always tell my clients to meditate to try to get there, but maybe this is good for people that don't know how to do that?
That's right. You don't need to know how to meditate, because it's like acupuncture where it uses the meridians, and the body has a connective tissue which is also fiber optic, so it carries that light through your whole body. And so that's why if you're having light, you have it on the capillaries on your face, it's going through your whole body. And each session, you have like the blood goes through your body 30 different times. Mm-hmm. And so people end up feeling very nourished and nurtured afterwards and just energized and very peaceful.
Yes, I felt like when I was in it, I felt at times I was very peaceful and floating. And then at times I felt like I was processing emotions.
Right, because you need energy to heal, to feel.
Right.
And so whatever was happening, the light goes to the low impedance. So emotionally, you needed the energy to really process through that. So you will have different feelings when you're under the light.
I did the blue and Daniel just did the red, right?
He did the near infrared.
Okay.
He did the one for inflammation and that has red in it as well.
How does your joints feel?
They feel really good. Yeah. I've had a little bit of little stiffness in them first thing in the morning, and I wanted to see how this would affect that. And you mentioned that it would take a couple days before it really start to feel the effects, right?
Yeah, within a couple hours, your body's going to really feel it, and it'll stay for a few days.
Oh, it'll stay.
Yeah, and the light is accumulative, so if you come back for another session, it starts staying in your body longer and longer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and it's a way of life. So just like yoga or eating well, we need this light to be replenished.
Right.
And so I tell people, to keep coming and having these sessions.
Yeah. This sounds like it'd be great for like seasonal affective disorder.
Fantastic.
I was just going to say that.
It's fantastic. The blue wavelength is really good for people who are depressed. They're not getting enough light, and that's the same wavelength that people come in for. They're having problems sleeping. Yeah, it's really amazing.
And you said the blue will help with acne, too.
Yeah, it's antimicrobial, antibacterial, and so for people who have acne, having a series of treatment, their skin will dry up and it'll go away. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, because I was having breakouts before I saw you, and I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but I haven't had a breakout.
Right.
I did change a couple other things, some eating things. So
no, it's pretty. I mean, a lot of dermatologists use it in their
they
office too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what light therapy has been used by dermatologists, the blue for the skin. It's been used in wellness centers for inflammation and sports centers for accidents. I mean, light therapy has been used for a long time. It's just becoming more known now.
So in the sports thing, using like infrared for deep healing in the tissues?
It's really amazing. I actually have some different testimonies on my website, and there's one guy who was actually part of the movie The Secret who came to me, and he had a golf elbow and a golf shoulder, and he said he'd been to acupuncture, he'd been to chiropractors, and it wasn't better. And he had a few treatments, and it went away. And now he's golfing, and he's just really happy. And he wrote this whole long article that I have on my website because his body is feeling really good.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so I've had really good, people having great healings with the light therapy.
Wonderful. And how long have you been doing the light therapy now?
Since 2007. Yeah, and I've had this is the third machine that I've used. I had a full body one that I used, then I had a machine that was more for spas, then I have the one now, and then the latest one is the Ultra Spa that will be out in a couple months. That I'm really excited because this one is wonderful, and the next one it's comes apart. So not only can you put it over your face, you could take it apart and wrap it on your stomach and your back.
That would be good. Yeah.
So people can take it in their suitcase. So it's more portable. Mm-hmm. The new one. So I'm looking forward to having that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, see, you also had on your bio here, photofacial and phototherapy certification. Is that also related to?
Yeah, I did take some trainings in 2006 to learn about light therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then why it says photofacial is not only is it good for the acne, but the red is really good for creating collagen in your skin. So, and since you had some red, you might even notice that. So as the collagen is increasing, people's wrinkles start to go away and they plump up their skin. And so it's really, with the baby boomers, everyone wants to look better, and it's non-invasive, which I really like that.
Yeah,
right.
It's not like Botox or something.
Any of those things that might poison. It causes the enzymes from within the body. Yeah. And it also gets the hormones to remodulate, which I really like.
Nice.
Like with the blue session, the serotonin and melatonin, it starts to increase, and that's one of the reasons you start to sleep better.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is totally. I have a lot of people who come for sleep. I think that's a really big, where all these beta toys are running around and people just don't get enough rest.
Right, and sleep is the culprit of a lot of things, weight gain, stress. Right. People don't realize that sleep is really important.
Right, people don't know about the weight gain. That's so important.
And if you just fix your sleeping habits, you could eliminate some other stuff that's going on in your life.
Right, and when you don't sleep, you don't feel too happy.
You don't.
And they even say when people don't sleep that they tend to think more negative thoughts. They've done all this testing. When you have enough sleep, you have, it's a beautiful day, and all of that. So I feel really grateful when people get to sleep.
Yeah.
And that usually happens pretty quickly. Some people the first time they come in, and other people by the fifth time they're sleeping through the night. I've even had, and this is on my website too, people who were on Ambien and were able to get off their drugs and be able to sleep. And that is amazing.
That is amazing.
You can go to bed and fall asleep and feel rested when you wake up.
And not have to take something that's going to hurt your body.
Right.
So tell me, how do you combine light therapy with other modalities? Does it fit well with?
It fits really well. When I do hypnotherapy, lots of times I'm doing like EFT, emotional freedom technique first. And then when I do the trance part of hypnotherapy, since the light has a brain entrancement feature, it's going to bring you down. We're in beta, down to alpha, down to theta. So your mind is really opening, and so when I'm putting in those suggestions, they're even opening more to the suggestion. So it works really, good combining it in that way. Mm-hmm. I also combine it with different body work that I do. I do this one special that I really love where I do, I have this G5 machine, and it's one of my favorite machines. It's for lymphatic massage, and so, I do that for people, and then I do a polarity balance, and then at the very end, I do a light treatment. So the combination of balancing the energy, getting the body to relax, it's just a great combination treatment. A lot of people come in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain the G5 machine a little more with the lymphatic system. How does that work?
Well, it stimulates the body to release toxins. So especially if the person is not one who moves their body, doesn't get enough exercise, or they're old, this is a great kind of massage to give them. They can even leave their clothes on. And it just, goes over, and it feels pretty wonderful. Most people think it feels pretty great. And, even go over the head and
Is it
face.
like a handheld
It's
thing?
a handheld. It's a big machine, and I just kind of go over the whole person's body on the back, and I turn them over and do the front, and it's really even good for the breast. People don't massage the breast, but you can go around, the lymphatic system there.
Right.
And in fact, there's one of my favorite doctors in town. Her mother was in the hospital and couldn't get up, and they said they would not let her get up unless she could become ambulatory and move. And so with that machine, I was able to get her legs. Her circulatory system started going, and she was able to get up. And afterwards, she said, "Adora, you should be selling those machines." And I said, "Well, why don't you just send clients to me? I'd rather that. I'm selling enough,
Yeah.
So,
And you mentioned emotional freedom technique earlier, and that's one of these things I've had experience with myself and used, and actually have on a CD of mine for weight loss, because I understand how well it works. Explain how you use emotional freedom technique and a little bit more about it, so that those that don't understand or haven't heard of it yet.
Yeah, so how it's an energy system that uses the acupuncture points and the meridian points. And when we're tapping on them, we're releasing, emotions and stored energy. And sometimes you don't even have to know what it is.
Right.
And all of a sudden you have this energy release. Sometimes something comes up that you completely forgot about. Just somehow gets unlocked. And we need to because we are all connected, we need to release the body, the emotions, that we're all one. So for me, a lot of times I start out with that. And so people get much more comfortable during a session. And then I might move into another process where I'm working with the hypnotherapy or to a trance. Mm-hmm. It just seems like they really coexist really well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, those stuck emotions in the body can really come out. I've seen tears come out of some of my clients when they use getting it out.
Having, one moment you're just feeling normal, next moment something just wells out.
Yeah.
So that's really great that you just can get that to come up.
Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned the brain entrancement part of the machine. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because I think some people might hear that and just be like, what is that? You're gonna change my brain.
Well, just like, tuning forks, you hit one and the other one starts to resonate with the same. That's how the brain entrancement works. So it starts out slowing, with a beta, slowing it down to an alpha, slowing it down to a theta. So as it slows down your brain, your brain really starts to repair. It's amazing what it does, and that's people feel very blissful and very calm when their brain is at that theta. That's where healing really, happens at that theta state.
Right.
And you don't have to be a meditator. It's automatically just going to bring you down and, really restore your brain. So we all need that.
Yeah. So have you seen somebody with high anxiety come in?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. In fact, I have some clients, they've also bought the light machine. A lot of people, if they end up loving it, they come to me, they end up buying one because they want it every day. And they still will come back for massage or energy work or hypnotherapy, but they want that. But anxiety with the blue, just being able to just calm it. And it's just a half hour. So most people, if you can fit that half hour in the day of not doing, just laying down, you don't have to do a thing and just take a rest. A lot of people even fall asleep during the session, which is really nice to have that opportunity.
Yeah. All you really need to do is turn off the TV. Don't watch that one sitcom, and you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah. Change your whole brain thought pattern.
Right, exactly. And people can do it in the morning or in the evening.
Right.
To fit it into their schedule. And some people, to help them sleep better at night, they should be doing it in the morning. Some people need to do it in the evening. So you kind of play around with it to see, how your body is going to start resetting.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up?
Well, I'm very excited that I have the opportunity to assist in a hypnotherapy training with Rainia Dan in Maui, Hawaii. Yay!
Oh wow, that sounds horrible.
I know. I get to spend 3 weeks. The house is on the beach. There's a pool. We're going to do yoga. We're going to do dance. People are going to have the opportunity to transform their life. And if they want to become certified in those 3 weeks, it's a residential program, they'll have that. So that's going to be totally awesome, because when someone gets that aha and you get to witness it, it's like you get that too. It's really exciting to be with people, to experience, the beauty of the transformation.
So anybody can sign up for that?
Anyone can sign up. We still, I think, have 4 spaces left, and it's from October 15th to November 8th. So there's still time to get your ticket and be part of that training.
And how can they look at that? Do you know the website for that?
Well, on my website under hypnotherapy, there's a link that says training, and then also if you look up Rainia Dan, she has it also on her website.
And your website is
lifespirithealing.com.
Okay.
And people can look that up, or Adora Deva. Either way, it takes you to my website.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's ADORADEVA. And again, that is lifespirithealing.com. Go back a little bit more about hypnotherapy, actually. I wanted to find out some of the different types of hypnotherapy that you've studied and learned and practice in your own practice.
Okay, well, I learned quite a bit. What I use a lot is I use NLP and I use voice dialogue. And with the voice dialogue, I get people to connect that were many people inside, and we have many different sides, and to get them to see that when they're really triggered, that's just a part of them. It's not who they are. They might just think that's who they are. So I get some separation from the different parts. Mm-hmm. So I work that way. I also work doing inner child and rescue and connect to the little child inside, which we all need.
Yes.
To do that. I do a little bit of past life regression, not a lot of that. I do with NLP, people don't have to be in trance. Not everyone wants to go into trance. I also love doing trance. I'm very good at, finding out what the person needs to hear. And then during the theta part, and I put those good ideas in, and they tend to have great changes really quickly by doing that. Because I think if the conscious mind knew how to make those changes, it would. So, you get dipped down to the subconscious mind and get congruent, and then life happens really quickly. The changes that we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's very rewarding, to see people, just really tap into those inner resources and get the changes. I mean, I love it, being a part of that.
What brought you to all this type of stuff. We all have our story of what brought us to healing, and it usually is something about healing ourselves, usually.
I've always, since I was a child, been interested in health. And as a teenager, I started working with medical doctors, and I was a medical assistant way back then. And then I decided that I wanted to be more holistic, not just go that. So I started studying Eastern medicine. And people have hobbies. I've always had hobbies that have to do with anything to do with health. Music, dance, all of that has always been, what I'm interested in. So I started, learning, I did Hawaiian temple body work, and then Reiki and hypnotherapy, breath work, anything. And, I'm just very interested. Like someone's interested in golfing, I'm interested in what makes the mind body, connect and heal. It's exciting to me.
Yeah, it's kind of my background too. I just kind of love this stuff.
Yeah.
It's my interest, how to heal off the land and use the herbs, and yeah,
and it's nice. And there's sometimes I offer people treatments, which I'm sure you do. Once in a while I meet someone, I'm just like offer them a treatment, and because I just really love helping people in that way, making a difference in that way.
Yeah. And isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah,
make
healing.
A difference in the world, and the world will support you.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned past life regressions. I just did my first past life regression just a few weeks ago, and it was really quite amazing. But do you have any stories about past life regression that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I've had some stories, and for myself, in the beginning, I had to just let my imagination, versus being so stuck, and just like let my imagination open more. And that's how hypnotherapy is. You have to you're not so sure where you're going to go. And you have to just be open for, the body, the mind knows where to go. And I was having some kind of physical pain, and through trance, I was able to go back to a past life where I was actually killed for being a healer. And I was able to remember that. And from that point, I really got a lot of healing.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that, you can just go back and remember something and change it in the past, and then come back and it's not a problem with you anymore.
Right.
Yeah, my own experience was a gentleman I'm working with who's very overweight, and he had actually died in a past life on a boat and had starved to death. And once we found this clue, this past life issue, he says things have been much easier as far as how much he's eating. He finds that he doesn't have to eat so much anymore. He's gotten back to a centered state when it comes to his food.
Because like how you're acting might have nothing to do with what's occurring now.
Right.
And so then you can make those changes.
Yeah,
it's pretty powerful.
Amazing.
Reiki. I know Melissa's done some Reiki on me, and it's been spectacular. Give us your experience on using Reiki on clients, and maybe some background on how you learned it.
Okay. Well, I took Reiki 1, 2, and 3 from Janine Sandy. She's a local teacher here in town many years ago. I don't know what year it was, 2004 or something like that. And I started using it, and then I bought the Biogenesis crystals that are an incredible healing tool, and I combine them both now. And so I end up, doing Reiki, doing hands above the body, hands on the body, and I use my tools a lot. So I combine the energy of the crystals to work, and it's a very subtle kind of experience, and for, emotional things, physical, mental, and it's just a very relaxing type of treatment, very calming, and it's fun.
Yeah. What do you find as a practitioner doing Reiki? What do you experience there?
Well, I kind of get into a space, which I'm sure Melissa does too, where I kind of like, I'm here, but I have like, I'm opening it up to energy just to be receiving a conduit. So I get kind of just in this open area and just allowing what comes through. And it's also too with intuition, because all of a sudden, like, I might get a message that doesn't make any sense, and I'll just like say to the client something like this, and they'll go, oh yeah. So I don't filter what I'm
Right.
hearing,
Yeah.
and I just kind of allow that to come through and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I kind of do that too. I kind of call it I step aside.
Yeah.
I like just step aside as a person and just allow the energy to flow. And I could be giving a massage and all of a sudden the Reiki takes over.
Right.
And then I'm giving Reiki to somebody, you know.
It just becomes a part of it.
It just comes.
Yeah.
It's like this person needs Reiki right now in this spot. And so
Right.
it just comes. And then the person usually is like, wow, what was that you did? You know, they notice a difference.
Yeah, it can feel.
Because they're feeling what I call divine healing coming through,
Right.
you know, and it's different. They feel it. It's different.
When I took the training at Cypress, Larry, I had him come to my office and I was giving him sessions. And at the very beginning of the massage training, he said, "Oh, you're already doing energy work."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I went to Cyprus the day that we studied polarity, I walked in and there was a chakra chart on the wall with all the explanation, and I walked in and said, "Yep, this is why I'm taking this class," because I was so interested in that kind of stuff. But
Right.
I didn't know that it was part of I didn't know what polarity was.
I know. I was so excited.
I was so excited, and Larry's like, "Calm down, calm down."
That's how I really felt too.
Yeah.
That I felt this is magic, the
Yeah.
polarity, because you have the energy work and the massage combined. you know,
Right.
And it was such a sequence of learning. It was just wonderful. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorites still.
Yeah, me too.
For those who don't understand what polarity is, can you give a kind of a brief explanation
Well,
of that?
it's a balancing of the energies, and it uses the different elements too. And so it's like the East-West modality. And
So it's like I mostly do chakra balancing is mostly the polarity balance that I use. But there's a fire balance, a water balance,
Air
an air
balance,
balance,
yeah.
and there's different, and an earth balance. I use the earth balance a lot as well too, because a lot of people need to be grounded or they've got specific problems in a certain area, and so I do that one.
And there's a general balance too that
Yeah.
people, you balance your head, your feet, and your belly.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this is all part of Reiki then?
No, this is
No,
polarity
polarity.
therapy. It is
Polarity
an
therapy.
energy medicine, but it's a whole genre unto itself.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different modalities.
There's different modalities, but I really feel like energy work is energy work. It's
Yeah.
coming all from the same
Yeah, and we
frequency.
just have labels that we put on it.
Yeah, and we do different things with it. We might touch a different pressure point as you're doing the energy work, or you might be chanting something, or you know what I mean? There's
Right.
just different moves, or you're pulling energy out, or you're putting energy in.
Right, and it's all, as you said, that you step aside from, who you are, just allow to be that space, and just holding that space of love. And that's, I think, where people feel that they're being really held.
Absolutely.
Like I know we've all gone to a place where we've had a massage where it's not working. They might know the technique, but their head's about doing the dishes, and so it doesn't feel good.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yes,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I know for myself, before I do a hypnotherapy session, I do put myself in that space of love and healing that client and making sure that, that space is there for them when the session is started. And it makes all the difference. It's that energy, the intention. There you
exactly.
go. The intention.
Everything is intention.
Right.
Yes.
What am I intending? One really cool thing that I combined was doing the chakra balancing polarity session, and then using essential oils on each of the spots.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I love that.
I used to use rocks and the essential oils too. I've done that too. It's good.
Yeah.
All this stuff is good.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
It's all good. That's why I'm a holistic healer junkie. I love to go try everybody's stuff. It's one reason why we're doing the radio show, right? We get to try, meet all these people and learn about what everybody's doing. Yeah.
And again, Adora, I wanted to thank you for the light treatment this morning. That was really wonderful, and I think I'll be doing that again very soon. Neurolinguistic programming. I want to ask you about neurolinguistic programming. I have some training myself in it, and you mentioned parts therapy before, and integrating those parts, finding those parts that may be out of sorts, and then reintegrating them together. Do you find you're using this also along with your hypnotherapy during your sessions? How do you use NLP?
Well, if someone has like a bad thought, a bad emotion, I take them through a process where they could associate that with something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I work with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting them to like, you know, we get a space where they feel good and remember what it felt like to feel good, and then we can associate that past to that, you know, moment by, you know, creating a circle on the floor and, you know, putting, you know, what you remember you felt good and a color and a feeling, and just having them think that they step into that to feel that again, you know, like doing an anchor along with it,
Right,
you know, to remember that feeling good.
Yeah, anchor all the senses to that good feeling, and reframing the event. And I've used that myself to help people get through traumas in the past and changing their whole emotional feeling about that event so that it no longer affects them in
that's it, what you said right there, because the situation is the same, but it's our interpretation is what makes us miserable or not. So you change that interpretation and relationship to that, and then you're able to be free.
Right.
You know, it's not like going around. And also, too, new thoughts create new neurons in your brain. So you stop, like, you know, thinking that, and you start thinking new things. You know, that groove gets more and more, and pretty soon those neurons die away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I also really get my clients to catch themselves being good. Because we can catch ourselves being bad so easily.
Easily,
you know,
right.
You know, what I did wrong. But, like, just remember, you know, give yourself a pat on your back. Catch yourself the things that you're doing good about yourself. I mean, it just makes such a difference. Mm-hmm. And we didn't learn that as a child.
No.
We got all the
exactly.
critical parents. You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I must say, Daniel, you kind of look younger, I think,
Really?
after that light treatment.
Yeah.
I think there's a different, I don't know.
Kind of a brightness on his skin.
Something,
like a light.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to go look in the mirror here.
Sorry.
Well, you know, no, we want to, you know, get more youthful as we're aging.
Well,
for sure,
that's appealing to a lot of people. It
Yeah.
really is.
Just about everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. We all want to feel good, look good.
Especially when you start hitting the 5-0.
Exactly. Oh, none of us are close to that. Come on.
No.
Right.
At least not feeling 5-0.
No, I still feel 20.
Yeah.
Sometimes 35, but
yeah, we want to, you know, keep that youthful experience for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you for coming by today, Adora. It was really nice meeting you. I'm so glad you could come to my spa finally.
I'm so glad. I've seen it on Facebook, and now I get to be here and experience the wonder. And thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. And again, thanks for the light show I got this morning. That was amazing. And I'll go take a look in the mirror, see how my face looks.
Great.
So again, people can contact you at
lifespirithealing.com, or they can look for Adora Deva. I actually work at Thrive Natural Medicine with 3 naturopath doctors in Soquel, and then I have an office in San Jose where I work with 3 chiropractors.
Okay.
So on either side of the hill.
Nice.
If somebody wants to call you, get in contact with you, what number should they call?
831-566-9678.
And do you have an email address?
Adora Deva at got.net. GOT.net. Like got milk, got net.
Nice.
And that is ADORADEVA at got.net.
Yes.
Got
it
it.
is. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much again, Adora.
Thanks, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.